I run a chiropractic marketing agency. We primarily work with chiropractors that offer, obviously, they're a little bit more higher tickets, so not just your average clinic. But that's really who we service. And we do Facebook ads, lead generation, plus we have an appointment setting team, and we're also calling their leads as well, so we can get them into practice. Since we have a appointment setting team, one of the biggest challenges for me has always been like, how do we sustainably get our clients results at a higher scale, right? Because we use a platform called GoHighLevel. A lot of people in the agency space know this platform, but that's what we used to have to make phone calls. I've even purchased some coaching, or I guess coaching groups for call centers specifically. But in the beginning, it was really just like a one-man show. We had a couple of clients, and then it just didn't really do that well because everything was really slow. And so uh, whenever we were trying to solve that call center thing, there was no accountability with the team, not a lot of volume. We were getting a ton of leads. Speed to lead was just not very good. So we were trying to attack it by having more accountability with team members, but the systems itself were just not there. It just wasn't scalable. Before, if we had 30 clients, I would probably need four or maybe five setters to make the amount of calls and get the same amount of volume. But now we literally have like two setters, which is 30 clients. And that's crazy. And so it also just saved a lot of money for us as well. I'll just tell you a quick win. I've even shared this with a couple of people, but whenever we were using a platform, just our native platform like Go High Level, we would used to be making per setter about 100, 120, sometimes even 70, 60 calls because there's just so many moving parts and loading screens and all that. And as soon as we switched to Hot Prospector, each setter minimum they would be making 250 calls minimum every single day. And so it dramatically just boosted the amount of calls every person would make. That was a big one. And then also speed to lead. Because obviously we just the lead just pops in. We don't have to constantly check if there's a new lead coming in. Overall, the simplicity, but also like how easy it is just to like set it up. Um, whether it's like per client or whatever it is, it's very easy. It's all just like in one platform rather than us having to go to Twilio, for example, us having to go to some other software, make.com and Zapier and setting all this stuff up, making it a lot more complex. It's literally just like one platform, go make the dialer, put up all your clients, put the tags that you need, and that's it. And you can just start dialing everybody. So that's just been the biggest thing that's been the most helpful for me. I like simplicity and simple scales. One of the things that even us we're starting to do a lot more of recently is we get on team meetings and we look at the previous day's data, which would be extremely hard to do with like other native platforms that we use as an agency, which a lot of other agencies use as well. And so with Hot Prospector, we can literally just go in there. We can also keep our team accountable. Like, hey, I saw that yesterday you made this many calls. Hey, yesterday this other team member made this many calls. And this was the answer rate, which a lot of that stuff is really, really accurate, which I love. 100%. Anyone who has a call center who's wanting to just build, and they're not like, oh, I want to just have this call center maybe for like 10, 15 clients. If you want to like actually scale big and you want to have a good, like a real company, I think Hot Prospector has to be that platform, especially for like agency owners. You already use high level, you already use these platforms which integrate straight away. Like it's a no-brainer to not use it, especially if you're looking to solve that big problem. If they're on the fence, I mean, at the end of the day, they just have to do their numbers. Like that's usually what I just say. Like, hey, you're struggling with this problem, which you don't know what your team is doing. You don't know which client you're doing good on. You don't know your reporting. You don't know anything. You don't have any of the system set up, and you're not willing to build it because it's just too complex, obviously. And so if anyone's on the fence, I'm like, you got to do this. Like especially if you're trying to solve that problem, because you're gonna take. For me personally, I was I've had this agency for about 2.5 years, and we started Hot Prospector maybe 6 months ago, maybe 7 months ago. That's when we really started just dialing it in. But for those past, I would say for the past year or so, year and 2 months, our call center was just not performing at all. bringing on clients and we were just churning clients, you know? Um, and so if you're on the fence, you're just gonna waste your time for like a year and a half trying to figure it out. Um, so I would say do it. Like especially if you're trying to build a call center, I would say it's mandatory.